Yes, we're back again. This is obviously Sogamed. I'm Gix, and we have a plane passing by, which is quite frequently here at the airport. We're outside the Gaylord Resort, sitting here with a gentleman called Angel Muñoz, the sort of the godfather of CPL or something. And the thing is that, first of all, I really would like to give you the props of been doing this for 7 years. You've been around quite a long time, and as we all know, within esports and gaming, 7 years is a long time, and you really meant a lot for the development within esports. So, thank you for being you, especially. So, really nice. So, a lot of people still today, when you guys were starting out in the beginning, you were doing something that a lot of people never done before. Today, we have a lot of different organizations around the world, but according to a lot of people that we talk to, CPL is still ranked like the number one. That is the event out of prestige to win, sort of. And
That's all to know.
yeah, it is. I mean, it could be worse, but so the idea basically is, what is it, in my opinion, without mentioning any names or any other organizations or whatever it is, what is it the CPL does right that others don't? I can hold it for you.
Well, I'm not sure that it's that. I'm not sure that it's anything that merits a comparison. But I just think that that plane's the CPL plane is going by.
Yeah, it's Angel's private jet probably going to pick him up. But anyways, please continue.
Well,
And don't be modest here. I mean, you actually earned the right for. I really mean it, and it's the point I'm trying to make. What is it that you guys actually do? Because I actually see this as a possibility for other, to learn. What is it that your organization is doing when you're doing an event that a lot of other people misses, that makes you click in a better way?
well, what I think the biggest our biggest asset is that we have never lost sight that while there's a lot of peripheral things that are important to the sport, i.e. media, i.e. visuals, a lot of the venue and all that, but we've never lost sight that what's driving this is the competition. So what we do, I think, well, is that we provide the best environment for people to compete at a higher level, keeping those tournaments on time, keeping a staff that knows what they're doing and that can communicate with the gamers, having computers and systems that are state of the art and that are functional, and if something goes wrong, that there's replacements right there, and that we can act very quickly. Listening to the community about what systems they like to play on, what monitors. There's a lot of crucial elements that makes the experience of a pro gamer good or bad. Yeah, other organizations emphasize a lot of the publicity, a lot of sort of the hype around it. The CPL is not that great at that, but what we're great at is providing the best environment for competition. So that's why I think why a lot of the pro gamers have been telling you that they believe that CPL is the best event to win.
Okay. Would you say that one part of the success is maybe paying attention to detail?
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, you're right. That's exactly what it's like. It's these events are complex, and they're not easy to put together, especially at the scale of this summer event. If you miss the details, which it's humanly possible to do, then what do you do to repair that in a very quick fashion? So it's not only not trying to pay attention to details, but also knowing how to resolve problems as they take place. Problems will take place.
You certainly will. I mean, Murphy is a friend of everybody.
Right,
So
exactly. And we've seen entire organizations collapse, under the pressure of not knowing how to solve problems. So I just think that that's something that we're really good at. I have a great staff, people that really know what they're doing, and when their problem comes around, they know how to fix it. So if we can really analyze it in a lot of different ways, but I really think that we just want to provide the best competitive environment that there is. I mean, when somebody comes to one of our competitions, they know that it's going to be high notch. They know that they're not going to have to deal with a lot of the silliness that they have to deal in other organizations, computers that are under par, or monitor or LCD monitors instead of the CRT that they want, or in a number of other issues like that.
Okay, so would it be possible, sort of, since it's about also responding and handling the chaos of things that happen, is it like, going into battle, like, warfare?
Exactly. That's a mental image that I always have, which is it's war, and you have to have a strong army to battle that war. You have to have good generals, and you have to have good captains, and you have to have a very strong front, and that's exactly how I look at it. And it's very easy. What happens is the human nature seems to be directed at blame. Why did that happen wrong, and whose fault was it? CPL is not about that. We try to eliminate that, and especially because my personality does not fit with that. So when things go wrong, I don't really want to hear whose fault it is. I just want to focus on the solution. We'll have plenty of time after the event to find out whose fault was it and why they dropped the ball and how we can avoid that. But at the event,
So the ass whooping is taking place after the event. That's a good thing. Yeah. Okay, let's focus on the solution. So anyways, I do realize the event is not over yet. A lot of unexpected things can happen and so on, but probably, the last day, as far, are you sort of happy with what's happened so far? Are
that's
any self-criticism so far?
No. We started the event on very shaky ground. I mean, I dare to say that this is the largest event for a pro gaming event ever done. The venue, which everybody seems to be enjoying, the size of the actual space that we're occupying.
How many actually is participating in the boy?
In the what? On the BYOC?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah,
okay. Boyac. I never heard it called like that, but
I call it like that.
Okay, Boyac. 2,000 people. There's 2,000 people in the BYOC.
How many was it last year?
800, 900, 1,000, something like that.
Okay.
So I think I would declare this a victory. We had problems starting, and now things are, the team overcame, and that's what this is all about. I mean, it's not the avoidance of problems; it's a solution of problems that makes an organization a winning organization. So problems will take place, but if you have systems in place and great communication with your staff, those things get solved.
Okay, so just a quick rundown. What goes in the process of preparing this kind of an event? How long have you guys been doing it? When did you start sort of spending your nights instead of sleeping, worrying about the CPL Summer 2004?
We started organizing this event last summer. So, and it became, a lot of it was planning how we were going to occupy 106,000 square feet of space, which is quite, I'm not sure what the conversion is to meters, but it's quite the, it's quite a large space. So we weren't really sure how we were going to do that. So we started by planning where would the BYOC be, and we walked this property many times and went through every single angle and where where are the choke points and how the traffic gonna flow and all that. Once we passed that stage, which was all basically diagram and all that, it became very intense after the winter event, which was in December, and then we went full time, the entire staff, on where would the sponsors be and where would the competition area and ideas of doing the stage and with Intel and fencing the tournament area, which I think is fantastic. I think it looks great, and I think it's just,
I agree.
It does the job. So that was actually one of the last ideas we had, and I just wanted to look like a sport. And a lot of the people got mad at me because I ordered the fence from a company that sells used ones, and it came dirty and all that. But that's the look I was looking for, like sort of a sports look. So anyway,
yeah.
So that's we've been planning it now for a year, for the last 6 months, it became very intense.
Okay, and the choice of the Gaylord Resort, was that like your first choice, or did you look at other venues in Texas?
Yeah, we looked at not only in Texas, we looked at venues elsewhere. But when a member of the community, of our gaming community, decided that, you know, we talked to them and he decided to go out and volunteer his time to help us find a venue. He goes, I mean, I live maybe 10 miles from, not even, maybe 5 miles from here. So this is right, literally in my backyard. And I never even knew this was being built here in Texas. And so when when he told me, he goes, while you're looking elsewhere, you got something coming up that's going to be ready for summer, right in your backyard. And, that was Steve Smith.
Some kind of backyard, I would say. I mean, this place is awesome, I must say. Really impressive. The personnel, the service is just top notch, and wow.
Yeah, so that's how we came up.
So do you already know by now that where you're going to be in December, the CPL Winter 2004? Is that decided, or
Oh yeah,
any?
Yeah, no, we are going back to the Hyatt because the December event is small, so
Oh, okay.
so it doesn't really matter. So we're gonna be in December. We're back at the Hyatt, and then in summer of next year, we're back here.
Which brings us to the next subject in 2005. Something is shifting. CPL is shifting gear. There's a new concept. You have, went out with the press release, the world tour. Could you tell us a little bit more about the concept? What is, for somebody, if my mother was going to watch this, interview, the world tour next year, what is that, the CPL world tour? A quick rundown, not too lengthy.
The world tour is one game, 10 cities, we estimate 10,000 competitors, and $1 million cash prize.
Quite a lot of money.
Yes, the largest ever for a single game ever in the history of gaming. So that's in essence is what's going to happen. We have 10 cities. Some of the cities, this is going to be published on Sogamed. Sogamed is predominantly associated with the Swedish community. So that's one of our stops. It's going to be in Sweden. And then we have...
Really?
and as you well know, we've selected some strategic partners in Sweden. It's you. And
yeah,
you just found out.
I'm shocked. Yeah, okay.
Anyway, and we have UK, we have Sweden, Spain. We're talking to Yugoslavia, which is now Serbia, Montenegro, China, Japan, Taiwan, Chile, Peru, Brazil, and the US.
Quite amazing, yeah.
So basically, for somebody like my mother or anybody would say, there's going to be 10,000 computer gamers traveling all over the world and trying to win a large portion of the total purse of $1 million for being the best at a specific game.
Yeah, it's really cool that you guys actually tried to reinvent the esports and try a different concept, because a lot of these events kind of sometimes feel a little bit routine, sort of. So this is a sort of a new thing. What would you say went on behind the idea of bringing thing, so to speak, on the road?
You can walk through the camera.
Yes, yeah, there's no problem. We like to keep it live. What was the decision behind the concept of bringing it on tour? What was there any particular?
Yeah, that's a good question.
The thought process. I don't know if I'm coming across there, but
no, I understand the question perfectly. Well, there were several things. One of the things is that we've been in discussions with a lot of broad media companies, specifically television. And there has been a growing concern from television corporations that they feel that a game like Counter-Strike is not appropriate for television because of the team format, 5 versus 5. I've been hearing this now for 2 years.
Too complex, yeah.
It's complex. It's not easy to pick up. It's the visuals don't seem to be right. A number of things. But for 2 years, I've been saying, I'm going to wait until television wakes up and matures about this. Well, about, I would say about 6 months ago or 7 months ago, I had a phone conference with the president of MTV. And we talked for, I can't remember.
Not the Bush president then. He's not into gaming, is he? Or maybe he is.
Yeah, well, whatever. The international gaming he's into. So we discussed in detail the problems that the sport has, and he highly recommended to us that it would be much more interesting that that if we had a 1-versus-1 game, easier to understand. So to a certain degree, it's like dumbing down the sport for the masses. So with that in mind, and with the fact that we felt that if we did a tour, that it would be very hard for a lot of teams to travel when it's 5 people.
No, they're gonna take a picture down there first.
Well, that's fine by us. So yeah. Anyways, but I really I agree with you there, because me personally, I mean, Counter-Strike is. Did the camera die on us? You just okay. Sorry.
There's not much battery.
Okay, we're off. Yeah,
And then I'll do
it's still going. Okay, but let's just keep it going. Anyways, what I was saying was that I sort of, even though I love Counter-Strike, I missed the format of a duo.
Right.
To find who is the best player in the world. A lot of people say team game is quite superior, but I still think it's quite, like you say, easier to follow a duel and so on. So it's quite interesting to bring that format back into esports, where I think it actually belongs.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that some people would argue that duel has been part of esports ever. It never stopped being part of esports, because ESWC and to a certain degree WCG.
Yeah,
have
yeah, but you.
Quake 3 as
Yes, but it's been in the sort of the limelight of Counter-Strike and sort of.
Absolutely. I mean, Counter-Strike cast a very wide shadow on all other games. So we want to bring the attention back to a 1-versus-1 competition, because it's simpler for people outside of esports. If we put our cards on the table, how big are we going to get if we're always marketing to each other? I mean, if we're always, if I'm always talking to the same audience, if it's the same people are following if we're always talking to just gamers, we're not going to get where we want to be in esports. It's time for us to be a little more open-minded and allow the sport to be enjoyed by more people, not necessarily just gamers. And Doom, for example, which is Doom 3, which is a game that we're looking at, is a great example of a game that may be viable for this kind of situation. So I think that that's something that people should take notice, because it's so visual that it's almost like watching high intense animation, and you can't discount the value of those things. There are other games obviously that we're considering, but I would venture to say that Doom 3 is on top of our list.
Okay, and when it comes to Counter-Strike and Counter-Strike Source and Half-Life 2 and so on, what's your, what do you reckon about that?
Well, Counter-Strike, a lot of our partners want to continue holding, and when I talk about partners, is our strategic partners around the world that are going to be holding the tournaments in cooperation and in conjunction with the CPL. But these partners think that it's a value, some of them, to still hold Counter-Strike tournaments. So just if somebody can understand that if we're doing this world tour, and let's say only 4 of our partners, including and then adding the CPL 5, are doing a Counter-Strike tournament too, that's 5 more tournaments, or maybe 7 if we do it twice, that the world is getting in Counter-Strike. So we're not eliminating, we're not cutting our roots. We're just branching out in a whole different direction.
So for the people fearing that CPL is going to cut out Counter-Strike, you can tell them to relax.
I can tell them to relax, but I can tell them also to be concerned, because Steam is sort of a pain in the neck. And, I don't like the person.
Well, you're being political correct here. Why not say Steam is a pain in the ass? I'm sorry for saying that, but anyways, that's on my behalf. But are we still having batteries here, or we're just keep rolling. And what if you going back 7 years from now, would you say the vision and the ideas you had of esports and what it could become, is this what you thought it would be, or has it become better or worse, or what do you say about that?
I think overall I always wanted it to be a global sport, and but I stayed flexible enough to to allow the changes that occurred to guide the initial steps of the league. But right now, this event is the closest to what I envisioned in the beginning when I started my first event back in 1997. So this summer event is what I thought these events should be like. Large exhibition area with sponsors with very large footprints, a large BYLC area, fantastically well designed in my opinion, tournament area, and a great spectator area. This is closer to my vision. It's not quite there, but it's closer to my vision. We're going to try to in our summer event of 2005 to get even closer to that vision by occupying more space and providing more alternatives, doing concerts, taking 447, I think, was people to.
You have to bring Slipknot here, performing or something like that. I'll talk to them.
Well, Slipknot is my favorite band.
Oh, really? We're so happy to hear that.
Yeah, I like their new CD a lot.
Duality rocks, man. That's such a good track.
I actually like Vermilion Part 2, which is a soft song that they have, and they prove that they can sing. And I also like Disturbed. So the harder the rock for me, the better the.
So you like Korn as well?
A lot of people ask me that, and I'm not as much as a fan of Korn, but I like it a lot too.
People keep bugging me like, yes, what the fuck you like, Slipknot, and I like, they're kicking ass, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
so I can say, Angel likes them too, so.
I have 6 CDs in my car. 2 of them are Disturbed, and the other 2 are.
He's not doing MP3 here.
No.
That's good. You shouldn't give the artists a royalty. Yeah. They just serve it. They're doing a good job. That's good. That's very thoughtful of you.
So 2 are Disturbed and 2 are Slipknot, and the other are varied music, including the CD for Halo, because I played it so many times. When I listen to it, I can remember my mind, so it distracts me when I'm in traffic or something. I feel like I'm still in the game. So anyway, this is just a reality come true for me. We wanted to provide a lot of forms of entertainment to our audience, and we want to add more forms of entertainment. So it's just a week of gaming and entertainment, and that's what we want to do it, and all surrounding pro gaming.
Okay, I think that pretty much answers a little bit of my next question that I was thinking about asking. But if you have an opportunity here of being like Bill Gates, to be a little bit of a visionary, what do you think? How would it look like in 10 years from now?
Well, it's gonna dramatically change. Esports is the fastest.
Is it like just the beginning? Is this like the tip of the iceberg, or what's your feelings?
Well, first I would say that to answer that question, we first have to state that esports is the fastest evolving sport right now. We're growing faster than any other sport ever at the initial stages. I think, and I'll predict here, that 2005 is the year that esports breaks into the media. I am totally convinced of that. That's another reason, to answer your original question, why the World Tour is so timely for us. And then finally, I think that in maybe 3 years after that, that a major television network, international television network, will buy the rights, exclusive rights, to air it constantly on television. It may happen sooner because we are in discussions with companies like Spike TV and MTV and G4 Tech TV, and about the rights to acquire rights for the tour. So there's interest now. So, and then moving forward, it's what'll happen is that it will become more accepted, and that a lot of people from other generations, older generations, my generation, that will be much more interested in following these sports athletes.
Are you gonna have like a senior esport tournament kind of thing? Plus 30?
You know,
With the old guys?
we used to have them, but
Oh, the light is back. And so is the plane, yeah. The CPL private jet.
yes. Anyway, yes, we used to have the senior tour, but you know, I just find it hard to believe that your reflexes get that dull if you know practice, practice, practice. To use fatalities, a famous phrase that he said that he
Kind of deep.
yeah recorded on MTV. Anyway, I think that's unnecessary to divide the sport. You know what? The thing that I like most about being in the gaming community that I've never really felt in another gaming community is nobody really cares if I mean, think about it. I have one of the most unusual names in gaming, Angel Muñoz. Nobody really cares. Nobody cares if you're from Sweden or from Puerto Rico, in my case, or from, you know, Africa, or what color your skin is, or it is by far the least amount of discrimination. And why should we then include those type of discriminations into the sport? It doesn't reflect the nature of the community, and if at all, it divides us. So I'm really
So you're like, that's your point of view when it comes to female gaming as well?
absolutely. I mean,
So at CPL, we will never see a female CPL tourney?
yeah, never is a long time, but right now we have.
I'm not going to hold it to you then if you change your mind down the road.
Yeah,
I'm going to try everything to, have you change your mind, maybe.
I-
For different reasons, though. I'm sorry, but
Yeah, well, the thing about it is, yeah, it's easy to do a female tournament and then expect, you know, because it gets a lot of media, but is it really fair to make that separation? I don't think it is. We've done female tournaments in the past when we were doing Quake 3, but no, it doesn't make sense for us to do that. So maybe I'll change my mind, but right now it doesn't make sense.
okay. I must really say it's kind of cozy here. They're playing this, guitar music, and it's warm, and it's Texas evening, really. And we could probably be sitting here.
You know, and this is a mild summer for us. I mean, this is actually quite comfortable outside. So
Really?
for those of you that have experienced CPL events in summer, we could have easily temperatures over 100 degrees at this time. So this is really great. We reserve great weather for this event.
Yeah, I mean, for being a Viking coming from up north, this is like hot as it gets anyway. But so even though, like I said, we could be talking all night, I know you have your family here as well, and we appreciate you taking your time doing this thing. So the last question is basically, are you an angel?
No, I don't think so. You know, I at one time, there was when I was an investment banker, I was thinking of changing my name because I felt that it just by hearing it, people would think, okay, right away the differences, you know, between me and them, especially because my business was here in the United States. And I was in a business meeting out in Louisiana, and I told the CFO of this company that we were helping finance that I was thinking of changing my name. And he looked at me, didn't say anything. About 2 weeks later, he sent me, I received this envelope with no return address. And then his name was Sam, and inside there was a note signed Sam, so I knew it was Sam Farmer, which unfortunately he's passed away. And he quoted the Webster dictionary. He said, "Angel, a superior beings, excuse me, angel, a spiritual being superior to man in strength and intelligence." And that's why I decided to keep my name Angel.
Yeah, pretty good. We're actually tomorrow also going to speak to Mrs.
Muñoz.
Yeah, but Mrs. CPL actually, and really get the.
That'll be the first. You are very lucky. That'll be the first interview in 7 years that my wife Karen has ever done for anyone. I mean, she's avoided all press. A lot of people have tried to get her, and we were talking on dinner, and she will do the interview with Sogamed. So you guys are going to see Miss CPL in action.
Yeah, we're gonna get some really juicy stuff. I bet that's quite good. So. Thank you very much, and thank you for being you. And we're really looking forward to the finals tomorrow. And yeah, good luck in the future, and see you out there.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. What happened to the lamp? It was like coming.